In this video, I'm going to walk through the steps for creating a downstream grading transition as outlined in the ditch design manual. So the first step is to create an alignment at the end of the transition. I'll use the complex by PI tool to do that. Make sure my radius is set to 0. And I want to get enough here that I capture the natural top of banks. So I'll start here, make sure I snap to that point, and then get past this. Looks like I have a top of bank there. All right, now that I've done that, I'm going to create a couple of profile models. The first one I'm going to do is for this line right here. I'll put that in window 5. And then do the same thing for the downstream toe of this apron here. Open up our profile model, put that in window 6. All right. And now I'm going to create top of bank lines through this transition area. If I had by survey for top of bank lines, then I could just use that. I could create lines by snapping to those points. But I don't have that, so I've created profile models, and I'm going to connect the top of bank lines at the upstream end to the downstream end. So I'm going to change my default feature definition to ditch top. And then just simply use this line between points tool. All right, I'm going to start here. Notice I'm going to draw a line in plan view, but I'm going to use my profile models to do it, to identify the top of bank locations. So I'm going to start here and then go to the downstream, the upstream one. And then do the same thing on the other side. Connect top of bank to top of bank. All right, now that I've done that, I can go ahead and delete this temporary line here. I don't need that anymore. I'm going to select one of these top of bank lines and open up a profile model for it. Put that in here. Go to geometry, under vertical, profile creation, and use this tool, profile intersection point. And at the prompt locate element to show intersection, I'm going to select that top of bank line. And then at the prompt locate element which intersects, I'm going to go ahead and select the edge of the apron. And now you see that shows up right here. I'm going to do that same process for this one down here. Select that, open up a profile model. Profile intersection point. Select that and select that. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and create a profile for each one of these. Change my feature definition back to baseline. And then just use simple line between points for profiles. I'm going to snap to that point, make sure I look at that attribute feedback to make sure I'm actually getting that point. And then snap to existing ground, make sure that existing ground is actually highlighting so I know I've got it. And then make sure that I set that active. And go through the same process down here. Select my start point, snap to existing ground, and set it active. Next step in the process, I'm going to set this back to construction. And I'm going to create a 1 foot offset from this downstream edge of the apron. I'm going to use a tool called Single Offset Entire Element. So I'm just going to make a simple offset of this line in that direction. And I don't want to mirror it, and that's that. The next step in the process, change my feature definition to ditch bottom, and then go to complex by PI, and I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to start at the edge of the apron, snap to that line that I just created earlier, and then snap to this line here. And do the same thing for the other side. Next step is to turn off display of a couple of levels. I'm going to turn off the draft, that one's already off. I also want to turn off the construction level. I'm going to be placing, go ahead and make that active and turn off the construction lines. Next step is to create a profile for these horizontal lines that we just created. So I'm going to go ahead and select one of these, open up a profile model for it, put that in Windows 7. And do the same thing for this side. I'm going to do a similar thing as I did before with the profiles. I'm going to create profile intersection points. Let's activate this profile. Follow the prompt, select the element to show intersection, and then I'm going to use that line right there, and then the end of this line. So now I have these 2 points. Change my feature definition to baseline again. And create a profile from one point to the other. And remember to make it active. Go through the same step on the other side. All right. At this point, we can take a look at our 3D model again. You see that we've now created our grading transition areas. Next step in the process is to apply linear templates to create the cut fill slopes, the cut slopes along each side. So I'll go back to model detailing, apply linear template. Locate element to apply template. I'm going to do the right side first. Go to my Alt down arrow key combination, make sure I have the right template. I do. You can see this is designed to be put on the right side, so I'll go ahead and select that and accept that selection. I want to start this at the beginning here, and then all the way to the end. Make sure I'm getting a preview here. Make sure you click on the correct side, and then accept the inputs. And now that cut slope has been added. Now let's do the other side. This time, since we're on the left side, we need to use the option to reflect. So we reverse that template. So select the template, start, end. Make sure we've got the correct side. And then data point to accept the other inputs. And there's the other piece. So we've got the cut slopes now. Now we just need to fill in the middle. What we're going to do next is create terrain model, a small terrain model for each side here, and then we can apply a surface template to it. So first step, I need to change my feature definition to ditch bottom. Then go to geometry, and I need to put in a couple of short pieces here so I can have everything I need to create my terrain model. So I just need to add a couple of lines. So from here to there, and then one more. So now I've created these two features. Now that I have them created, I need to add profiles to them. And this is very simple. I'm going to use a tool called, under element profiles here, profile by slope from element. At the prompt, locate element to profile. So I'm going to do my first one here. Locate next, reset to complete. So I'll reset. Locate the reference element. So I'm going to use the profile that's already been established for the edge of the apron, and I'm going to apply that profile to the short piece that I already created. So I'll use that. And then data point to accept the other inputs. All right, and then redo this process. Locate first element to profile, reset, locate reference element, and then accept the other inputs. And now I can see that I do have active profiles for those two pieces, which is necessary. Now I'm ready to go ahead and create my terrain models. So I'll go to the Terrain tab, and under Create from Elements, look at my dialog box. I want to make sure that I've set my feature type to boundary and select an appropriate feature definition. And the prompt is locate element to add. So I'll select that, and then select that. Reset when done, and then confirm my inputs. That's the first terrain model. Now I can do the next one. Select that feature, and that feature. Reset, confirm inputs, and now I have two terrain models. If I go into my Explorer, I can see that I've got, well, I must not have finished that last step. All right, reset. Go ahead, check my Explorer, and now I have my two different terrains. All right, now that I have terrains created, I can go ahead and apply surface templates. Go back to model detailing, surface templates. It says locate a terrain model. So I'm going to go ahead and locate the terrain model. I need to do that in my 3D model. So go into my 3D model. my first terrain model, I use this one. There we go. And accept the other inputs. Make sure I've got the right template there that I'm using for my surface template. I can use the Alt down arrow key combination. There's only one there. This is for class 2 riprap. So go ahead and accept that. And that will get filled in. And do that one more time for the other side. Surface template, locate terrain. And now that's filled in. The energy dissipator is now complete.